Clara, thank you for taking time to stop and see us. You're going to be out at the McEvans Home Show and Maymont Flower and Garden Show. I'm so excited. You're one of the speakers.
Yes, I am. I'm excited too.
Tell me about yourself.
Well, I am a city girl
Yay.
that found her way to the country about 5 years ago. I live out in Powhatan.
Yay! I love Powhatan.
Yeah, and so I am making my way there and have become a flower farmer now, which is a tremendous change from the life I've always known.
Oh wow, a flower farmer.
I am.
So do you sell flowers?
I sell flowers. I grow flowers and sell them. Yep.
And how do you go about selling them?
Well, I have a couple different ways I sell them. I sell at farmers markets. I sell directly to people that might call me or want to come to the farm. I sell through a co-op and sell to designers. My biggest market really is to high-end designers and that sort of thing that do big events.
Wow, how cool.
Yeah.
So like weddings and all that good
Yeah,
stuff too,
yeah,
right?
Right.
Well, so you spent 13 years in the nonprofit sector, it says. What were you doing?
I was a development and PR person for 2 hunger agencies in Charlotte.
Oh,
so
bless
it was
your
a
heart.
great career, great job. And it was a privilege to be a part of something like that. And when we had to relocate, we decided we were either going to do urban Richmond or rural, and it was our opportunity to do rural, we thought. So having never lived that way, but always had the dream of it, and looking back, I realized that my dream was sort of swayed by sort of the Southern Living magazine look, and that's not really the way life always is, and it was hard. It was a tremendous adjustment, mostly because I had always seen myself in the role of nonprofit person, and it just was very different for me.
So you're married and you have kids?
Married, have 2 children.
And everybody likes it here now?
They do. The girls, my daughter and I, we had a little bit harder adjustment than the boys. But yes, everybody's real happy.
And it says on your bio that you decided to bloom where you were planted. I love that.
Yes, it took, figuratively and literally, it took a long time to come to that. We moved in the wintertime, which at one point we thought was a good idea, and then we realized that's a tough time to move with kids, and it's dark, and really the only people I had to talk to were not people, they were cows. They were my neighboring cows, and that's what we did in the evening with the kids. And
go out and talk to the cows?
Yes, my neighbor's cows, because there were I was used to my neighbors, stepping out with a glass of wine and having a chit-chat, and that didn't exist in the same way. So, so we moved in the wintertime, which was hard, and I think it made the whole transition a little bit more difficult. And it took about a year and a half for me to change my mindset from city living to country living. It's a very different way of life, just in the way you have to organize your week and organize your day, because you can't run out all day long and make errands here.
Sure.
And I thought that was the way you did it, and I was beating myself down. It was a hard time, and finally, after about a year, I just buckled down and said, I have got to bloom where I'm planted. A friend actually said that to me, and I said, it's right. And it was then that I started realizing I've got to not only bloom where I'm planted, I've got to dig in where I'm planted, and I need to start living and taking advantage of the kind of life that rural living offers that I would never have the chance in living in Charlotte, in suburban Charlotte. So I found some goats that I bottle fed for 4 months and kept, and then we got chickens, and I got to fulfill my fantasy since I was 8 years old, and I got a horse, and so I started really digging into what the country has to offer. We can have bonfires in our yard, things that you just can't do. And so, but then I knew there was something more. I had always had this thing that I identified myself with my old career, and when you don't have that identity, there's a longing for something. And so I found in my course of getting used to country living and really coming to enjoy it, a real callback really to the dirt and to the earth. I just felt like that was what I was being called to. And I noticed that I would watch my farmer neighbor driving his tractor every day up and down, going to feed his cattle, and he just had this peace about him and a purpose, and I longed for that, and I would watch the sun go up and the sun go down, and it just became the awareness and paying attention to the changing times and the changing weather, and then I knew I needed to do more, and so I decided I wanted to farm, and I had a perfect spot for it. So and I didn't want to do vegetables. I wanted to do something different. So yeah, so flowers is what I landed on, and
what's the name of your business?
Bologna Botanical Farm.
Now, what's Bologna mean?
Bologna is the area, the little area out where I live in Powhatan.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, and actually it's the old train, we are in the train stop there. It's a real historical place where the train stopped, the old steam engine. And anyway, so it's Bologna Botanical Farm.
That is so cool. What a great story.
It's fabulous.
Wonderful. And I grew up on a farm, so I know the peace you can get from that.
Yes.
But I'm sure it was a big transition, but now cut flowers and all this. And you were going to be speaking about how to grow your business from your passion, which is what we were talking about in your journey.
Right. It really, I am not a botanist, and I am not the schooled person in horticulture. Everything that I'm doing is you grow it, you know it, and so I'm talking about how to get started, why to get started, and then just tips I've learned and things that I've learned, things that are necessary for starting to grow, and neat tools. I'm going to bring some planting and seeding tips, and so really it's just going to talk about my journey.
I think that's wonderful because you've got a great journey.
Yeah, it's been
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, how many times will you speak? Will you have one time or more?
I'm just speaking once, Friday morning at 11:30.
Oh, everybody needs to come.
Oh.
I want to come to your farm and visit.
Yes,
I want to see the goats.
Well, come on. They'd be happy to see you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.